Hi everyone. So I thought I would get you started with the homework for today by going through question 1A. Question 1A says, remove the fraction by multiplying each equation by the appropriate integer. Do not solve. Okay, we're not going to solve this. All we want to do is get rid of the denominator values at the bottom. All right, so the way we're going to do that is you want to ask yourself, what's a number that we can divide by 5 and also divide by 10? What is the smallest number possible? And the number is 10, okay, because we can divide 10 by 5 and we can also divide 10 by 10, right, to get nice whole numbers. So I'm going to use 10. And now for the next step, we want to eliminate the denominator. So we do that by reducing, right? 10 divided by 5 is going to give me 2. So I can divide the top and bottom by 10, or by 5, sorry. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I'm going to put a 2 in the front instead. I've crossed them off. And 10 divided by 10 is 1. So I can cross those off and put a 1 in the front of the bracket. All right, so what am I left with now? 2 times x is 2x equals 1 times 3 is 3. And that's it. We're not going to go any further because the question said do not solve, right? It just said remove the fractions, right, or get rid of the denominators. And we've done that, so we can stop here. This is done. If the question did say to solve, you'd have to go one step further and divide both sides by 2. So you'd be left with x equals 3 over 2. All right, maybe I'll do one more. Let's take a look at which one looks a little bit tricky. How about 1h? I'm going to give you 1h. All right, so 1h says 1/3 multiplied by 3 minus 2a is equal to 1/5 multiplied by 4a. All right, so for this question here, what we want to do is we want to eliminate the 3 and the 5 at the bottom. A number that you can divide by 3 and by 5 would be 15, because you can divide 15 by 3 and you can divide 15 by 5 as well. So I'm going to put a bracket around the first term and put a bracket around the second term and write a 15 in front of each one. Okay, it's always the same process. And now I'm going to reduce. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So cross the 15 and the 3 and put a 5 instead. And then 15 divided by 5 is 3. There we go. And I'm going to write out what I have now. So I've got a 5 in front of my big bracket. And then inside the bracket I have a 1 and then 3 minus 2a equals, and then 3 in front of the next bracket, and then a 1, and then multiplied by 4a. Okay, I always rewrite what I have because there's a lot of writing up here, a lot of crossing off. I want to keep my answer nice and organized. And then I'm going to close that bracket. All right, so now we're just going to get rid of the brackets and expand. We're not going to solve, but we need to simplify this. So nothing we can do inside the bracket. The one has an a, one doesn't, but there is a 1 in the front. So I'm going to get rid of these brackets here by multiplying everything inside by the 1 that's directly in the front, right? So 1 times 3 is 3, and then 1 times minus 2a is 2a. So 3 minus 2a is what I'm left with. Okay, and that is, oh, did I forget a bracket here? I did. I forgot my other bracket out there. That should have a closed bracket. I forgot to recopy that one there. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm left with is these big green brackets, right? Because I eliminated this round bracket by multiplying by 1, so I'm left with these outside square brackets. And in the front I have a 5. And then over here, we have 1 times 4a, so I'm going to multiply that together to give me 4a. That eliminates the round brackets, and I'm left with the big square ones that were out there with a 3 in the front. All right, in the next step, now to get rid of these square brackets, you're multiplying by the 5 that's in the front. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then 5 times negative 2a. So 15 minus, and that's going to give me 10a. Equals, 3 times 4a is 12a. All right, and that looks like that's the correct answer. I'm just looking at my solution sheet at the bottom there. Yep, it matches. Again, this is not solving, right? This is just getting rid of the denominators at the bottom, getting rid of the fractions. If you were going to solve, then you'd have to move the 12a over to this side, the 15 on to the other side, and go from there. All right, I hope that helps with your homework. Good luck.